Is $100,000 a year in income enough for you to live comfortably? According to a recent survey, most Canadians say no to that number. So, of course, maybe you've seen this in the news. It's been reported by a couple of different outlets. I wanted to talk about it. So there's a survey, I'm going to pronounce it a Leger sponsored survey, asking over 9,000 Canadians, I don't know who they asked, what household income feels comfortable. The results are as follows. 37% said $100,000. 25.8% said $150,000. 24%, pretty close, chose $74,200. Smaller groups opted for $200,000 or $250,000. I'll put that on the screen. $100,000 to me isn't chump change, but at the same time, you know what? I don't know. I think that's a starting number now in most places in Canada. How do you feel about that? So comfort levels, of course, are going to vary by location. People in places like Richmond Hill or Milton say they'd need basically $110,000. And in contrast, Trois-Rivières or Sherbrooke land in the $60,000 to $65,000 range to feel comfortable. I am not in any way, shape, or form any kind of finance person. I'm not a budgeting person at all. I'm a regular person. I lived in Canada for 54 years and got rent-evicted out of my apartment after 14 years of living there in Nova Scotia. And I had always wanted to just do some traveling and had just saved some money, savings, no pension, and yeah, I'm just living in other countries now because of the high cost of living in Canada. $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month in rent alone it's just not doable for me. So where are you at with all this? I would love to hear what you have to say about some of these numbers and a comfortable income based on your cost of living in Canada right now. A little more context from Money Sense, the publication Money Sense. The average disposable household income in 2024 was $100,702, meaning that even that really is bared as barely comfortable. To be in Canada's top 10% of earners, individuals need to make at least $126,000 per year. The top 25% starts at $81,184. So feeling comfortable is relative, but even at higher income levels. And again, these numbers, to me, as someone who grew up in the 70s and 80s, they just seem so high, but I'm not a dummy. Of course, that's debatable. I realize now that rent, food prices, childcare costs, vehicle costs, insurance, and so on and on and on and on. It's, God damn, how do people do it? Tell me this, if you're making much, much less than these numbers we're throwing out there, you're living on minimum wage or maybe $45,000, $50,000 a year, how are you doing it? What are you doing? I would love to know, and maybe other people watching this video would love to know. Please drop a comment if you are comfortable doing that. Again, listen, this is in no way, shape, or form, of course, financial advice or any kind of budgeting advice. I just find this topic quite interesting for some reason. What annual household income would you feel comfortable with? What would you hope for? What do you think you need? So please, if you're comfortable, respond to this. Tell me what you think. Like I said, I had to leave. I'm lucky enough that I had just a few dollars saved, believe me, not much. And I'm going to some very low cost of living countries to try and see what it's like living in these different places and if I can make that work. You know, I'm on a tight budget. Not $100,000 a year, I can tell you that. You know, a tenth of that for a year. That's right, you heard that right. And I'm living a good life. I'm happy. Would I love to be home in Canada with my family? Yes, of course I would be, but that's just not the way it's going to work out for me right at the moment. Okay, all kinds of information there, and maybe I'm completely out to lunch with some of the things I'm saying. I don't know. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.